decided that I'm gonna make wings for the boys at the gym for their watch party tonight. So let's head to the store, let's go get some wings, and we're gonna attempt these again. If you remember, I tried these a few months ago, almost burned the whole neighborhood down. I think I've got the kinks worked out. We should be good to go. So let's head to the store, get some wings, come back here and start to cook them so we can drop them off for the team. I'm standing here in front of my Masterbuilt Gravity. This is my favorite grill. I have never owned another grill as reliable. I have never owned another grill that puts out the flavor and has all of the convenience. And that's the beauty of this grill. It's basically the flavor of a charcoal grill and then all the convenience of a pellet grill. It's the perfect combination of two worlds. One of the things I absolutely love about this grill is the ability to use a rotisserie spit on here. And while I will use that to cook things like prime rib and chicken, my all-time favorite thing to spin or to rotisserie are chicken wings. If you go back a few months, almost a year, I made some wings for Jacob and the boys. And what ended up happening is the rotisserie spit stopped spinning, the fat was dripping, the juices were dripping, and this thing basically burned my house to the ground. It was very dicey for a couple of minutes there. I think I have made the adjustments. Great, no, let me film. Don't worry, Joe, I'm just filming. I should smack him. Anyway, what we've got going on here is this is the valve. The stick or the spit goes into this and it rotates. And the biggest issue is that this is two pieces of metal. And you'll see that this comes in here and inside it has to spin. And once there's weight on it, it leans down, the grill heats up, the metal expands a little bit, and it gets harder and harder to spin. That's why it stalled last time. I think I have made adjustments. I ground this down just a little bit. We're gonna grease it, and I think we should be good to go. So what we're gonna do, it's about 1:30 in the afternoon. We have the daddy-daughter dance at 5:15 to get some pictures done, and then dinner, and then the whole thing. I'm gonna make these wings and drop them off at the gym for 5 o'clock. Timing is very important here, and you know I suck at timing, but it's 1:30. I'm gonna get this set up. We're gonna get it spinning. I'm gonna get the grill nice and hot. We're just gonna make sure there are no issues because I'm not about to ruin 6 pounds of meat. So let's go ahead and get this plugged in, get it going, and get it spinning. She's spinning. We've got our rotation. Obviously there's no weight, there's no heat, so this should happen no matter what, but I'm still gonna let this go for a little bit, make sure there are no issues, make sure it's not hung up, and then we can go inside, get the chicken prepped, get it all seasoned, get it coated, and then get it in this basket. I'm not gonna heat this up because if I heated this up, this basket would be way too hot, and then I'm gonna grab it like an idiot, forget that it's hot, not consider that, and have to edit out all the footage of me burning my hands because I didn't do everything I was supposed to do the way I was supposed to do it. So we're just gonna let this rotate just like this. What I might actually do is put some weight in that basket and just make sure that it has no issues, and then we'll go ahead, prep the chicken, load it up, and get it in here. Should take about an hour and a half to 2 hours to fully cook. We crank up the heat, we get some nice and crispy on there. And if they're a little cold when I drop them off at the gym, then it is what it is. I'm doing the right thing. I'm not even gonna be watching the fights, I'm just delivering them food. Don't get me going, I'm ranting here. We're gonna get some wings in this basket in a little bit, but for now, again, we're just gonna let it rotate, make sure we don't have any issues. The rotisserie seems solid out there, we're good. I've got that heat turned on, I have the grill on at about 450. We might have to lower that, we might have to raise it, but I want a nice quick crisp. This shouldn't take more than an hour, hour and a half. There are gonna be a lot of wings in this basket, so I'd rather err on the side of caution. I'll do it at 450, and then from there I could ramp it up or ramp it down if they're not cooking fast enough or if they're cooking too fast. So now we need to get the actual wings ready. Right here I have my basket. I've already got the stick in there, and we'll get the wings in there. But first, what we are gonna do is take the wings out of the package and do a light, very light coating of baking powder. This is gonna help make them a little crispy. Seasoning them now is borderline pointless because they're in a basket, they're tumbling. All the seasoning is literally just gonna fall off and burn up. But what we can do now is give them a little bit of baking powder. It'll dry up some of those nasty chicken juices. It'll stick to the skin, and then it'll get them a little extra crispy. So then when we're done, we come back, we throw them in here, and we toss them up with the seasoning that we want. So let's get them out of this package. I have said this a million times. These Costco party wings are the way to go. These happen to be the organic ones because that's all they had left, but they're dirt cheap and you get a ton of wings. This is officially 6 pounds. We're not gonna be using all 6 pounds. Maybe I'll do 5. We'll just sort of see what this looks like, how many I can get in here with a reasonable amount. Because last time I do think I overloaded it, and that was part of the problem. It stopped spinning because it's a long pole spanning the entire width of that grill, holding up a ton of weight. So let's just go ahead. We'll start with 5 in here. We'll see what that looks like. We'll get it in the basket, and then we'll go from there. Right now, I'm just getting the wings in here, and then we'll coat it with a little bit of this. Was that smooth, Tiff? Would you watch this video if you were like, oh, I gotta learn how to cook? This guy knows what he's talking about? You would? So then maybe pay attention. Well, you really shot me a nasty look, huh?
You really gave me a nasty comment.
Just sarcastic Ange. We've got our wings loaded into the... I'll wait. You done sneezing? I'll wait. Between you and the dog, unbelievable. I'm at work right now. Like, just a touch of respect. We've got the wings in our, I don't know, mixing bowl, whatever you want to call this. So now what we're going to do is we are going to coat it with some of the baking soda, baking powder, not soda, and we're going to get it in here. We'll close this up, see where we are. I mean, 5 pounds is a lot. We should be totally fine here with 5 pounds. I've got the basket over the foil. Ooh, dirty chicken hand. Gonna have to throw this out. I've got the basket over the foil so that the counter is easy to clean. So I'm literally just gonna mix this up with some of that powder. Nice and crispete. Disgusting. And there's a lot in here, so we're gonna do it in layers. This is 5 pounds, and it doesn't look, wash my hand. It doesn't look like a ton. It's literally half of a basket, but you don't wanna overfill it because you do need them to tumble, to rotate. So let's go ahead and close this up. We will lock this in, check on the grill, make sure the temp is good. And if the temp is good, this is going on. And you can see it's half a basket, but we want the wings to fall over each other, to flop around, to cook evenly, because if they stay clumped up, only the ones on bottom are gonna get cooked. So let's go ahead, get this on the grill as soon as that temperature's ready, and then it's just a waiting game. I'll check on it every now and then to make sure I'm not gonna burn the house down. But for the most part, we're just gonna wait an hour and a half, an hour, depending on how long it's taking, and then we're good to go. So let's go ahead and get this on the grill, then I have to shower and start to get ready for daddy-daughter dance stuff. We are locked and loaded. Our chicken is on here. I did lower the temperature to 400 degrees. I figured I've got a little more time than I need right now. So you can see they look a little white. That is the baking powder all over them. And now they're just gonna spin and they're just gonna slowly rotate just like this. Hopefully it won't freeze. They'll start to crisp up. And again, if it's taking too long, I'll go ahead and crank the temperature. If it's going too fast, I can lower it to 350, 300, something like that. So we're gonna leave it like this. Once we get super close and they're almost done, I will crank up that temperature, raise the lid, and see if we get some flames up there to give it an extra crisp. So today is UFC 300, the mecca of all fights, but I still have to go inside and get ready for UFC Vegas 91, because when tonight is over, the show goes on and the website flips to the next event. So I gotta finish that up, I gotta finish this up, I gotta wash my ass, I gotta get dressed, I gotta do all these things before the daddy-daughter dance. We are on the final few minutes here. I actually cranked the temperature up to about 700 degrees. You can see we're starting to get a nice crispy outside on these wings. So we're gonna let this go for a few minutes like this. In the meantime, I'm gonna go get dressed. It's time to get ready. So I'm gonna get my clothes on, get ready, and then we'll take these off, season them up, and bring them over to the boys. So these are done. The theme of the daddy-daughter dance is like cowboy Candyland or something like that. So I'm gonna wear some cowboy boots. This is the brightest shirt that I had, and I'll have a sport coat over it. so it is what it is. But we gotta get these ready because I gotta take pictures and I gotta go. So this is insanely hot. First thing I'm gonna do is open this up and we're just gonna check the temperature and make sure these are done. I am not trying to kill anybody at the gym, at least not with food. So let's go ahead and get this open. They look done. Let's go ahead and check a drummy, 165. These are done. They're gonna continue to cook as well. So we are good, they are cooked. What we need to do now is season these up. So I've got 2 different foil containers. We could do this in that giant bowl I had before, but we're gonna do it with these gloves. These are rubber gloves, so they can be washed, which I love. And we have 2 foil containers because I don't know if I wanna do 1 seasoning or 2. For sure, we're gonna do some Meat Church lemon pepper. I love lemon pepper wings, just basic, to the point, you know exactly what it's gonna taste like. I also have some spicy and some sweet here, so depending on what this looks like in the pan, I may do 2 different flavors. But let's go ahead, get a whole bunch of these wings in here. We'll season them as we go. Again, these are rubber high heat gloves, so I do literally just wash my hands with soap right in the sink wearing these gloves. Yeah, we're gonna do 2 flavors because this is a lot of meat. Get these in here. And you can see the spots where the baking powder stuck versus where it didn't, because that's the difference between the crisp and the not crisp. So we will do more lemon pepper, then we will spicy, and we're just gonna load these up. The key to this is season it as early as you can because they are still wet with the juices and the fat and the drippings, and that's what the seasoning is gonna stick to. Okay. And now we're gonna do some spicy sweet. The sweet is gonna be Meat Church Honey Hog. Obviously it's honey hog, but this is a pretty universal seasoning that you can put on anything. This is very sweet. It's very sugary and it's very fine. So we'll load this up pretty quick. So we got our sweet on there. Now we are going to add the spicy. This is Meat Church Holy Voodoo. This is spicy. People love this on everything. A little bit of popcorn. You can put it on beef, you can put it on chicken. It's a nice way to, we're gonna put that in there, nobody saw. It's a nice way to just add a little bit of spice to something you already had flavor with. You can use it as a standalone. I like to use it as sort of a topping. And these are done. This was 5 pounds of wings, so it took all of 2 hours to do. It took longer than normal. If you do a normal human amount of wings and you're trying to feed a gym full of jiu-jitsu practitioners, you can get away with a pound or 2. This is 5 pounds, so obviously it took a little bit longer. The more meat you have in that basket, the longer it's gonna have to go. I did have to add charcoal about halfway through, so just keep an eye on that when you do that, but these are the wings. Let's get these wrapped and let's get these delivered to the boys at the gym.